desire to see, and in your presence is where we long to be.
What will you do if you are married to the wrong man? Mr. Wrong. So my Mr. Right, knight in shining armor, meron din tayo tinatawag na Mr. Wrong. Mr. Wrong in the sense na we met him in the wrong time, in the wrong place, gano'n ba? Hindi siya yung ideal man na I think we know who is married, yung mga kagarong mga married dito. Do you think you married the right man or Mr. Wrong? Hindi tayo nakakatiyar na. But then, Mr. Wrong, because in the sense that we think it's not the ideal man that God has prepared for us. Because somewhere along the way, we drifted in our knowledge of this, of our conviction, and we married out of impulse, mga ganon. Or we were forced to do it, mga ganon. In the circumstances, mga ganon. So, we might have been, it might have been the right man, but we met him in the wrong place, in the wrong time. And so, ganon. Okay, so, I'm going to tell you a story actually. Or shall we, okay, I'll tell you a story about a man na is a prominent man, and somehow he was deceived. He was tricked by a woman na nagkaroon sila ng one-night stand. And so, this man has a fiance actually, na they were about to be married, and then, yun nga, he was tricked into sleeping with a woman na hindi naman yun ang gusto niya mapangasawa. And so, because he was a reputable man, a respected man, he has to take responsibility and marry this woman. Okay, so he called off the engagement, and then took this woman home, and of course they married. But then when she was in his house, she made her life miserable by making her just like a maid. Pagsilbihan mo ako, magbusa ka kasi ginawa mo ito sa akin. You destroyed my future. Parang gano'n. So, he let her serve him like a maid. And then of course, bihira siya umuwi. He can do whatever he wants. But when he goes home, he lets his wife serve him just like a servant or a maid. And so, yeah, but then the woman has to persevere. Kasi ginawa niya, pinili niya yun di ba? I mean, she suffered the consequence. She's it is the result of her trickery. Okay? But then, along the way with the marriage, the ex-fiancé of this man and the ex-boyfriend of this woman were conniving into destroying their marriage para maghiwalay sila. And of course, you know what they wanted. But then, it was discovered by the husband, and this kind of nalaman niya na yung boyfriend pala ng asawa niya is his rival in business. And so, syempre, business-wise, he wants to destroy the man, yung ex-boyfriend ng kanyang asawa. And so, ganun. Parang lang. So, he stood up as a husband to his wife. Actually, pinaglaban niya yung asawa niya. I mean, they are married. So he has to honor that he has to show that I am the husband, I should protect my wife. Somehow, kahit ganun yung ginawa ng kanyang asawa sa kanya, they were still married. So I had to be protective of my wife no matter what. Okay? And so, ganun, along the way, I think he has no choice but to just protect his wife, and maybe somewhere along the way, they fell in love, So, yeah. And, yeah, the idea is he still maintained the sanctity of the marriage. Even though ganun yung trickery na ginawa ng kanyang asawa. He still honored the marriage, no matter how wrong it had been. Like, they started in a wrongful page, but then he ended up honoring the marriage anyway. Okay, and so we come to our text in Joshua chapter 9, verses 1 to 27. And this is the story of, actually it's a war. Yung, hindi mo akalain na marirelate ito sa marriage, no? It is a war between when Joshua was conquering. They entered the promised land actually, but they have still to conquer the natives of the land. Amorites, Jebusites, Hivites, they still have to fight them and take their territory. And now, here is the story. They took over Jericho, and then they camped in Gilgal, and they captured Ai, the city of Ai, which is actually a little bit north of Judah, Israel. And so, narinig ng mga neighboring kings itong ginawa ni pag-conquer ni Joshua sa Jericho and Ai. How he hanged the kings of this, yung paano nila pinatay, kinangtor. They burned the cities and hanged the kings. Ganun. And so, nag-usap-usap itong mga kings surrounding Joshua, and then they want to fight Joshua. But then, itong mga Gibeonites, they were very tricky. Sabi nila, magpanggap tayo na kawawa. So, nagbaon sila ng yung mga kanis na bread, yung mga wineskins nila, of course, yung mga wineskins na pinaglalagyan ng mga tubig, animal skins. And then, nag-set out sila, yung mga sandals nila, parang kunyari, galing talaga sila sa malayong lugar. And so, they came to Joshua and said, please, let us have a treaty with you. Sabi nila, ay saan ba kayo galing? Baka lang naman nasa tabi lang kayo. Sabi ni Joshua, no, we came from very far. Look at this, our bread and our wineskins, our sandals are already worn out. They were still warm when we set out. But then we arrived here, it's already molded. Our sandals are already torn out, sabi nila. So it's, sa awa ni Joshua, I think he had some compassion or sympathy, So maybe they're telling the truth. And so, wala silang, they did not waste time. And the thing is, they did not inquire, the Lord says it in our text, and they made a treaty with him. And then after 3 days, sabi dyan sa nalaman nila na magkalapit lang pala sila. And so ano bang ginawa niya sa amin? You tricked us into signing treaty with you. Now, when they took the oath in God's name, they cannot revoke that because lahat ng mga elders nag-agree sa kanya. And so, they cannot break their promise. So, they have no choice but to honor their oath. So, ganun. They have to protect somehow, in honor of the oath na sinayna nila in the name of God, they have to fight the fights of the Gibeonites, and the Gibeonites will in turn, partnership sila. And then, now, when the neighboring kings learned about this one, they wanted to attack Gibeon. And so nalaman ito ni Joshua. And then the story goes, and Joshua mustered his soldiers and fought the fight of Gibeon. And sa continuation sa chapter 10, there was when the sun stood still. Do you know that? The sun stood still when Joshua, fought the fight of the Gibeonites. It was out of trickery na nagtinulungan nila. But they have to stand with the Gibeonites kasi they have an oath. They have the treaty. Okay, so you can now see how it is related intermarriage. Now, we go to our text. We go to my point. And when do we say that we marry the wrong man, Mr. Wrong? What are the indications na we married people marry the wrong man? And I think ladies can learn from this too. It is actually very, yeah. If I heard this message before when hindi pa hinabol yung asawa ko, siguro hindi ako nagkabol. Okay, but then, what are the indications na we marry the wrong man? Well, it is very indicative sa text natin. We did not pray about it. When Joshua signed the treaty between the Gibeonites, they did not inquire of the Lord. It says in verse 14. They just signed the treaty out of like pity or yun lang, nagtiwala kaagad sila sa mga Gibeonites. And then, they just signed the treaty without inquiring of the Lord. Meron ba tayong ganun? Sometimes, pag may mga, lalong-lalo na tayong mga kabaingan actually kasi, we are very prone to, we are like sympathetic, very medyo emotional tayo. When we see somebody na medyo kawawa or something, medyo madali tayo, kawawa naman siya. Diba? Kawawa naman, simple pa, nilataw na siya. Okay. Okay. We did not pray about it. And secondly, I think I cannot elaborate more about this. We just did not pray about whom we are going to marry. Maybe we have been praying like, oh, please give me the right man, and then give me someone, and then yung unang nakita lang natin, yun na lang, grab, parang yun na, ito na siguro. We grab it immediately without, Lord, is this the one? Parang ganun. We did not take time. And so we go to the second point. You did not give time to know the person well. In marriage and counseling, one of our subjects in the seminary, we have the marriage and counseling subject. Our professor said that yung ideal time that we give to our partner to get to know him is at least 6 years. 2 years, sorry. 2 years, ideally. To get to know him, his family, how he treats his family, how he treats you, ganon. Getting to know each other. Give it at least 2 years. Longer than that, maybe medyo mabuboring ka na. Or shorter than that, I think it's not enough. Depende. If you have known him very long, pero kung nagkasalubong lang kayo sa plaza, and then pwede ba tayo mag-date? Medyo, please give it time. Okay? So, So like the Israelites, Joshua, yung haka-haka nila, there was already the red flag na, o siguro dyan lang kayo sa tabi-tabi, o baka lang nagpapanggap kayo. But they did not give it time to know them. Jesus said, okay, siguro nga, totoo yung sinasabi nyo. Parang gano'n. Because the evidences are all there. Okay? And they were like willing to like stay with them, serve them, live with them, gano'n. So, maybe it's just a sign na we are meant to be humans. Minsan,
To be.
yung nagpapanggap na Kristiyano, nagpapanggap na, like, sige, susunod ako, makikipag-church ako, tayo mabaptize ako sa church mo, but then, he's just doing that because of you. It is not because he wants to just tell the Lord by himself. Kung wala ka doon, aalis din siya. He is just there because he just wants to pursue. Ganun yun. We did not give time to know his intentions, his sincerity, his background, how he treats you. Like that. And then the third one is, actually we can see that in verses 6 to 8. But then they went to Joshua in the camp of Gilgal and said to him and the men of Israel, we have come from a distant country, make a treaty with us. Then the men of Israel said to the Hivites, but perhaps you live near us. How then can we make a treaty with you? We are your servants, they said to Joshua. But Joshua asked, who are you and where do you come from? Like, there was already the wisdom na binibigyan ng Panginoon just to like know them. But they did not give it time. They have the idea we should get to know this person, these people. But then, they just instantly signed the treaty na hindi man lang sila nag-wait, nag-ask sa Panginoon. And then they should have at least given time to test these people kung talagang totoo yung intention nila. Get to know. And the third indication is that we acted out, yung nagsabi natin kanina. Women are a little bit emotional. We do not mostly use our intellect. Once na natamaan tayo ni Cupido, medyo hindi na nagka-function yung brain natin, yung reasoning natin. Nagiging more on emotions na tayo. Sinong nakaka-relate dyan? Wala.
Nung kabasaan.
Oo. Diba? We can say, hindi naman ako gano'n. But then when time comes na mangyayari ito, you will realize that you're a bit more emotion. Your reasoning doesn't work really. Does not really work like, hindi siya nagpa-function as in above your heart. You know what I mean?
Mahal mo
Yun nga. Kasi na-like yung feelings natin. And so, unless na talagang very cautious ka na tao na sigurista ka, maybe that's a bit of advantage. Pero yung mga, okay, sige, isigulati lang. Yeah.
Spell kabataan.
Yeah. Especially yung mga who can take risks. Okay, that is the third indication that we are with the wrong man. You married out of pity, out of sympathy, or out of looks. O siya na, tall, dark, and handsome. Siya na yun. Malapit na siyang mag 6 foot. Okay? And then, bachelor naman siya, wala naman siguro siyang asawa kasi mukha naman siyang binata talaga. Okay? And then, ayan, pag sinasabi niya, ganito yung sitwasyon mo sa kami, huwag mag-isa lang sa bahay. Syempre, ikaw na. Wala ka na. Parang, you sympathize with this situation and like, you take pity or sympathy and then perhaps I can be with this man. I don't know to you. But generally, women are more sympathetic, more like, we see this, lalo na yung mga ganito na medyo nagpapaawa effect. It's just, it's in the Bible, actually, it's biblical actually, na may mga ganitong sitwasyon.